Over 50 years ago, many large cities recognized the need to help protect children on their way to and from school. Today, this important responsibility has been adopted in cities of all sizes. Adult crossing guards have become an integral part of school crossing protection and safety programs all over the world. Did you notice we emphasize the word responsibility? Child safety is a big responsibility. Protecting school children oftentimes can be difficult due to traffic and the children themselves. Traffic patterns aren't always the same, and each location has its own unique traffic pattern. That's where your experience, skill, and expertise makes the difference between a safe crossing and perhaps one that's less than safe. School crossing guards are an important part of traffic and child safety. Make no mistake, it is an important responsibility. Quickly, we'll review some of the basics you should understand before you accept this responsibility. For those experienced crossing guards, we'll call it a review. Please keep in mind, this program can only provide guidelines. Always follow your organization's policies and procedures. Each city has specific rules on how to provide school crossing services, therefore follow your city's procedures. Okay, let's begin with your uniform. Motorists must be able to recognize you. Your uniform should be bright-colored shirt or blouse and perhaps a reflectorized vest. A bright-colored cap can enhance your visibility. Training may be provided by both the school district and your city's traffic department, but learning doesn't stop with formal training. It's up to you to learn local traffic regulations, especially regulations requiring driver and pedestrian responsibilities in relation to school crossings, parking regulations, and yielding rights of way. Knowledge is one of the key elements in any successful school crossing program. Crossing guards should understand the principles behind the use of traffic control devices such as stop signs, signalization, channelization, and street markings. You don't have to become a traffic engineer, but it's important to understand how traffic is controlled. Learning vehicle identification, as you may be required to describe vehicles, including body styles, color, license numbers, and other vehicle identification, such as dented fenders or other distinguishing marks. When you first report to your post, look around. Are there any obstructions that could cause children to walk into a vehicle's path, such as a roadway or sidewalk construction, potholes full of water or mud? Be sure and report these obstructions to your supervisor. It's up to you to make a judgment on the best way to channel the children around the obstacle. Be prepared for emergencies. Police, fire, and ambulance telephone numbers should be immediately available, as well as knowing the location of the nearest phone. Bad weather can have a serious effect on motorists, such as vehicle traction and stopping distances. Increased alertness and caution in bad weather is the best way to prevent accidents. Okay, let's take a look at some traffic control basics. The first thing to remember is you are a representative of your community, and your conduct reflects upon the entire community. Children look up to you for guidance and direction. They perceive you as an authority figure. You should have a friendly attitude, but do not be affectionate or give extra attention to a particular child. Children on bikes and skateboards must be instructed to dismount and walk through the crosswalk. Don't argue, but be firm. When giving signals, make sure you give clear and distinct signals to children and to motorists. Children don't think of the potential dangers in a crosswalk, so it's up to you to maintain control. Horseplay and running are prohibited when crossing. Children should cross as a group, but don't hold up a group to wait for stragglers. Always walk slowly. Walking slowly provides more time for evasive action if necessary, and it teaches the children to exercise caution when crossing any street. You must be aware that children's perceptions are much different than adults' perceptions. Children do not have the same fears as adults and can be distracted or fascinated by the sounds of automobiles and traffic. Children are shorter than adults and do not have peripheral vision. Their hearing acuteness has not totally developed. Therefore, they may not be able to determine the direction of noises. Vehicles look like animals that do not move, so they can't always determine the speed of a vehicle. They're playful by nature and certainly may not be paying attention to what they're doing. Controlling children is extremely important. Fair, firm, friendly, but not familiar is an old saying, but it applies equally to crossing guards. Most children will follow directions, particularly from authorities. That's another reason why proper dress, whistle, stop sign, and appearance are important. A few more tips and we're done. When stopping traffic, hold the stop sign so it is clearly visible to drivers, but don't let the stop sign obscure your vision. The sign should be held up before you step into the street, and then wait momentarily before you step into the street. This gives motorists time to stop. Step into the street only when it's safe to do so. The proper position in the crosswalk is in front or back of the crosswalk, keeping the actual crosswalk available for pedestrians. Always face oncoming traffic. After you enter the street and vehicles have stopped, use 2 short blasts from your whistle to indicate it's okay for children to cross. You should use 1 long whistle blast to gain attention of children or motorists who are disobeying rules. Don't overuse your whistle, but when required, it does help maintain control. Maintain eye contact with drivers. Watch their turn signals to give you an idea which way they'll be moving. Keep your head moving to observe children, traffic, and any unusual or potential hazards. Try to time your stops for traffic breaks. Wait for pedestrians to get to the corner and group several people together if possible. Do not signal vehicles to go. After all children have crossed and you're returning to your post, vehicles will move because you're no longer stopping them. The primary purpose of not directing vehicles is the liability involved in the event of an accident. Your job is to stop traffic, but not direct traffic. Do not signal vehicles to go. Always be polite and never argue or use abusive language to motorists or children. Don't talk to pedestrians when crossing. If they have a question, ask them to wait on the corner for you. Should a problem arise with a motorist, don't argue or discuss the problem with the motorist. Take the license number, vehicle description, and report it to your supervisor. Crossing guards perform an important function, and the safety of children is one of the most important responsibilities anyone can undertake. We sincerely acknowledge the great job men and women crossing guards perform all across this nation. It's a big job, but the safety of children require your utmost concern and awareness. Thank you for listening and watching.